Jörn, today you gave a talk about the role of digitalization in a changing energy world. What, in your eyes, are the most important opportunities provided by the digitalization for today's energy systems?
Well, we have certainly different various impacts on the digitization. And for example, the customer engagement is definitely changing. So the role of the customer and the role of the utilities to interact with the customers is changing. So we expect, for example, to have more information coming from customers, and we have more interaction with customers on an online platform, for example, because the patterns of the customers are changing. Another thing, for example, is as well, if we are looking into sensorics, we have huge development in sensors, and we have more and more sensors installed in the grid, which will provide a lot of more information. So it's a challenge really to get this information and to digest this information and process it correctly. And do, of course, the data analytics for this amount of information to be received.
And what, in your eyes, are the most important challenges connected to big data and analytics?
When we talk about big data, I've mentioned it already. There is the amount of data to process is incredible, especially since the big data are acquired today in real time. That means every second, every millisecond you will receive, or you may receive data. And it's of course a challenge to really configure how many data can be acquired in a certain time. And when we talk about data, of course, the ownership of data is a huge topic when we talk about big data, because individual customers, they don't like to have, let's say, foreign ownership of their own data. So this has to be clarified. And by this, cybersecurity is the next topic that is associated to big data. So on one hand, how to process the big data, and on the other hand, how to protect the data.
Is Schneider Electric already working in the cybersecurity domain?
Yes, we need to. I think all of the players, the major players in this electrical world, they need to play on the cybersecurity part. That means for the development of new products, we need to do lots of cybersecurity precautions. We do have a lot of standards, national standards, international standards, that are referring to cybersecurity implementations, especially for communication standards, and we have to respect this simply. So whether it's the hardening of the software, whether it's the information that you receive from who's operating, who's doing what, who's working, this is, I would say, very, very important to see. And of course, this is being implemented. And as I said, for new developments, it is key if you want to stay in the market.
In your presentation today, you also talked about utilities and their changing role. What can smart meter infrastructures, for example, why could utilities benefit from them?
Well, utilities certainly are at the brink of developing new business models today. And new business models means they have to, let's say, leverage on two major strongholds that they have today. What the utilities can do best at the moment is operating the grid, and they have a very good customer intimacy still today. But this might change. And smart meters is a possibility to maintain, on one hand, the customer intimacy, be connected to the customer directly, but also to obtain all the information that is necessary to operate the grid more efficiently. For example, to forecast the demand for the next days, to do the pricing for the next days. So all of these, let's say, more operational issues can be supported by smart meter infrastructure. And this by itself should pay or repay the investment into the smart grid into the smart meter infrastructure. But of course, it's a huge investment, and it's a decision of, let's say, the top level, the top management of a utility.